into the darkness.
Which was a great move, by the way. You don't think so? F yourself. F yourself right out of this room.
I like the blonde with the 2-inch eyebrows.
So hot.
Jesse's like, how come her eyebrows?
Because it's supposed to be like 1984.
Well, I don't know.
Loved it. We are live on the Psycho Bunny Death Cult, I think. Oh, Brenda Omvig is in the house. What's up, Brenda?
Hey.
We're about to talk about a little movie called Rampage.
Uh-huh.
Not that horse shit with the Rock and the big stupid apes. This is a whole other thing. It's a Uwe Boll movie. I know you probably don't know who the hell Uwe Boll is. It's better that you don't, because this right here, this is about as good as it's going to get from Uwe Boll. Oh boy, oh boy. Microphone's on? Yes, yes. You, young lady.
I am on.
You're a repeat offender.
I'm gonna
No,
see if
it's
I can
on.
Is it on?
It's
do
on.
this.
Let me inspect. I'm going to inspect your guys' microphones.
All right.
All right.
Just
Hey, bring it in. Bring it in nice and close. We're missing another microphone. All right, hold on there. Connor's in the house. What's up, Connor?
Hey, Connor.
Connor, we missed you. That's the truth. I'm not fucking around. That's the wrong cable. And Connor, have you seen a movie called Rampage? And I'm not talking about the one with The Rock. I'm talking about the one written and directed by Uwe Boll, whom you're probably, hopefully, not familiar with, because his work is not very good. Unless you like shitty horror movies that are adapted from video games. If you're into that, this is the dude for you.
Hey, Jason, what's up, cuz?
Mac Nez in the house.
Hey, what's up, Ness?
What's up, Nez?
Monica, say something to your boyfriend, would you please?
Hi, Nez. How's it going?
He's tuning in specifically for you.
Yes.
If you're
we
not
chatted earlier.
If you're not listening to if you're not listening to the Mac Nez podcast,
that's right.
Get on it.
Do yourself a favor.
You suck.
Just
Jeez.
listen to if you like this show, you're gonna like, without being offensive.
No, right?
Without being offensive.
Really? Peas? Like the peas that you eat?
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know, Nez. I'm fucked up.
Vegetarianism.
I'm
Listen
over
to-
here drinking a Kickstart by Mountain Dew.
Which we have quietly laced with a little something something.
Called Terramana
Called
by Johnson.
Called There's gonna be an X Videos live situation going on after this show. And she will not even remember anything of it.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great.
That's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
It's called a bukkake, I believe is the phrase.
Isn't there a song like that? Good thing. Boop, boop.
Boop, yeah, Fine Young Cannibals.
Yes, that's
Good
the
thing.
song.
That has nothing to do with bukkake.
No.
All right.
Ooh, Monica
That's
has a
not a-
boyfriend now. Monica has many boyfriends, Connor. I
Don't
don't
you
know.
Who are they?
I don't know if
Who are they?
the T-shirt guy,
Tom Hardy.
the homeless guy,
Homeless guy.
the parole officer,
The
who's
parole officer is the boss.
technically your husband. E-Society podcast. Yes, that's where you want to go.
What's up?
Check
Peace
out-
Society?
Check out Mac Nez's show. You're gonna love that shit. If you like horror or 80s
Mhm.
rap or skateboarding, if you like skateboarding, you're gonna love Mac Nez's show. Prodigy of the Padded Room. Jason's in the house. What's up, Jason?
Yeah.
Hey,
This
Jason.
real life.
Hey, what's
on
up,
Facebook,
Stevesy?
I have
Steve in
my
the house.
Real name?
I just realized Facebook, I have my real name. You're right, Jason, you do. And now
Right.
we all know your real name.
What's up?
So sorry about that. Hope that,
Hurry up and log out. Log back
yeah,
in.
man.
Nobody will know.
Name it.
Come up with an evil clown name and then come back to us. What the fuck are you doing, man? All right, you guys ready to get into a podcast? We got a show to do.
Absolutely. Best one ever.
The best one out of the Uwe
Ever.
Boll month, perhaps.
Perhaps.
All right, here we go. We're not practicing social distancing, by the way. I don't know if you noticed. These two are practically on top of me.
We are negative for Corona.
For now.
Woo!
I need a condom. Does anybody have a condom?
You are a condom.
I am a condom.
All
right.
Put you on.
Here we go. That's right, motherfuckers. We are talking about Rampage from 2009. This one is written and directed by Uwe Boll. It's got a solid R rating. Came in at 6.2 stars on IMDb. I believe this is a record high for the Uwe Boll multiverse.
I agree with the 6.2.
You like that? You like the
I think
Rampage?
that's fair.
It's probably a little high, all things considered, because there's not a whole lot of movie here. There's a lot. Well, okay, we're going to get into that in 2 seconds. But this one is starring Brendan Fletcher, the Michael Pare, and Matt Frewer.
Yeah.
Anybody recognize the name Matt Frewer?
No.
Max Headroom. That's the original Max Headroom.
From the 80s?
Yes, Matt Frewer was Max Headroom.
Okay. I didn't even realize that.
Dude.
I love that show.
Matt Frewer has been in so many goddamn movies and shows, and if you don't recognize him from one thing or another, he's the original Max Headroom.
Yeah. Every time I see him in a movie, that's all I think.
The Dawn of the Dead remake. He had a show, a sitcom in the 80s. I think it was like, he was like a teacher, and I don't remember the name of it.
And that was like on ABC, huh?
I think so.
I think so. Okay, I can think of it.
I can't remember the name of it. But
Hey, Jesse.
pretty good stuff. Oh, parole officer in the house.
Yeah.
What's that, parole officer?
Stop talking about sex, Connor. We haven't started talking about sex. You gotta give us 2 seconds.
What's that line in the song?
What?
Let's talk about sex, baby.
Oh, this
All
is
right.
gross. All right, then. Back to Rampage.
Yeah.
So again, now last week we talked about Seed from 2006. Now we're jumping to 2009 with Rampage, and I feel like this was Uwe Boll's return to angry filmmaking.
Yeah.
And this is a bit of a reproach from his usual video game adaptations, which aren't very good. And I felt like this was like him coming back to being the angry filmmaker, which is also not very good, but nominally better than a Blood Rain or a House of the Dead or a Dungeon Siege or a Alone in the Dark, whatever the fuck that was.
Yes.
So anyway, let's jump right into the movie here. We got Brendan Fletcher. Now, you probably don't recognize the name, but you'll recognize his face.
Yeah.
If you've seen a little movie called Freddy versus Jason, I know you have. He played the Jason Ritter's little sidekick guy with the fun van. He didn't last very long in the movie, but he's got a very recognizable face. And the reason that I feel he's so recognizable is because his hairline is like 25 years older. It's like 25 years older than he is. And I don't understand that. Don't get me wrong, inmates. I understand I've got some real estate up here, but this dude had this kind of real estate when he was like 23. And that's kind of weird.
2.5? The parole officer already says 2.5.
Out of 5.
What?
Out of 5. It's out of 5. I think that's fair.
Your ass. This is the best movie ever.
That's not the best movie ever. It is probably the best movie ever made by Uwe
For this
Boll.
year.
No.
For that year.
For 2009?
Yes.
The original Paranormal Activity came out in 2009, baby doll.
I don't care. There wasn't any death in there.
Yes, there was. Dude got his throat slit, and then he got thrown out of the camera.
Well,
thrown at the camera.
People.
All right, then. Neither here nor there. I've seen Freddy versus Jason. Connor knows what we're talking about. He was a little sidekick guy. Anyway, so our movie starts with this dude, Brendan Fletcher. He plays a guy by the name of Billy. And he is like lifting weights and hitting a punching bag, and he's listening to conservative talk radio. Yeah. That is not a healthy combination. Conservative talk radio, if it's not being listened to by your dad, is probably not a good idea. Because, I mean, really, it's just what?
I listen to it when I'm driving.
Like I was saying, it's probably not the best fucking idea. All the Harry Potter movies are the best movies ever. Well, to be honest with you, Connor, I've seen about half of one of them, so you could be right.
Connor, we need to teach you about movies.
You've seen them all?
Yeah.
Are they the best movies ever?
No.
Be honest,
buddy. I actually like them.
They're okay, but I would even go as far as saying Lord of the Rings is what's step up.
I would agree. I've only seen half of
Yeah.
one, but I
I've seen
love
all
Lord of the
those
Rings.
too.
Connor,
Those are good.
what, the Lord of the Rings? Yes, that I would agree with.
They have better death scenes.
Harry Potter, Connor, I feel like you and I need to have a little sidebar about what's going on in your movie library and where you're at.
Yeah.
I'll bring you up to speed. Don't worry about it. And I'm going to, educate you on some better movies and what's going on. Regardless, so that's weird. That's bad. That's a bad situation for this dude.
Oh, yeah.
Once he gets done with his rage workout while listening to conservative talk radio, he goes upstairs and has breakfast with his parents, who seem to be very nice
Yeah, they
and
did.
very supportive.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But they drop a bomb on him and tell him that they basically want him to move out of the house.
That's bullshit.
Get out.
He's 23 years
He's
old.
23.
I don't care.
What do you mean you don't care?
I don't care. My parents didn't ask me to move out ever.
Well, they okay, but you did move out though, obviously at some point.
Well, after my dad passed away,
How old were you when you moved out?
31.
What the fuck?
European families are different. We
Hungarian.
want to stay together.
American fan. I moved out when I had to have my parents sign a waiver so that I could leave to join the military at the right. I was 16 when I was in doc. I didn't leave till I was 17, but they had to sign off on me. I couldn't get the fuck out of there fast enough.
I moved out when I was 18.
Woo!
Oh my God, my mom blackmailed me. She was like, "You are not moving out of this house."
Why would you not want to get out of your parents' house?
I did. I wanted to move to Arizona, and my mom was like, "You are not fucking moving out of this house."
My parents were like, "Get out of this fucking house right now!"
I was like it or not, I'm leaving.
Yeah, dude. The parents scene sucked. Terrible acting in that scene. Well, yeah. I mean, they were doing. They're probably right. They're parole officer, but I felt like they were doing like their best TV sitcom parents
Yes. Get him
impersonations. Now,
Right.
I mean, you gotta handle that situation with kid gloves. And we're gonna get a little snapshot into this dude's life. So basically, he's 23 years old. He's been living with his parents. Apparently, they had some kind of a weird rental agreement where he was trying to save up money to go to college, and that was why he was living at the house. But he wasn't really doing it. He was working at a garage and fucking off his money. And they weren't seeing a lot. Yeah, they weren't seeing a lot of growth in that area. So that's part of the reason why they wanted him to get out of there.
He's probably been doing that since he got out of high school.
Probably.
Okay, 5 years later, you don't have enough money to move out? Come on.
Okay, dude. You've been smoking a lot of weed and playing a lot of Call of Duty.
Hitting a bunch of backs.
I haven't been seeing a lot of college movement or any kind of growth really at all. So yeah, why don't we talk about you getting your own apartment? Now, if he was smart, he could have parlayed this quite easily. Okay, you want me out of here? You pay my rent, and I'll continue looking at colleges and trying to save up, and then I'll get out of your hair. You guys can have freaky sex anytime you want, and well, it's a win-win situation. Is what it is.
Yeah.
So, but he didn't. He got all pissed off. He's like, "Well, I've been trying to fucking save money, but I can't because you're fucking. No, you want me to go now? How am I going to save money now? Because I got to pay fucking rent. Fucking fuck." And they're like, "Oh God, I'm so sorry. Okay, well, we'll go apartment shopping later. Everything's going to be fine." So they leave. Now we're going to get a little snapshot of this dude's daily life. So Nez is now on
in the house.
Now he's in the house. He was in the house earlier. Now he's in the house, in the Psycho Bunny
Went out
house.
the back door into the front door.
Welcome aboard, Mac Nez. Again, Mac Nez podcast. You're gonna love that shit. E-Society. So that being said, we get to see him at his daily job.
Yep.
He works at a mechanic shop, which is usually pretty good money. And we see him welding some shit.
Yeah.
Which is usually even better money.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why he's still living at home quite just yet, but we'll get into that. Now, he's got like a little side project he's working on there at the mechanic shop. He's got himself like a 18 van. I don't know what he's doing to it just yet, but he's welding on it. He's putting something underneath it, and his boss is all pissed off at him because he's working into his lunch break, and he's like, "Hey, guy, come on, fix the cars. What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm working on my shit over here." "Okay, you're done. Come on, let's go." And we get a little snippy back and forth between him and his boss.
How about a raise?
How about no? How about no? You're working on your own fucking van. Get in there. You got to fix these cars.
I'm your best employee.
After work, he goes to his favorite coffee shop. And okay, all right.
Okay.
Now we're gonna get into a character arc right here.
Oh boy.
and that is the coffee shop douche nozzle.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we've all had encounters with the coffee shop douche nozzle, especially the mom and pop coffee shop douche nozzle. He's a dick face.
Oh,
and
yeah, he is.
He thinks he's the god of coffee, and "Oh, this is the best coffee in town. Go fuck yourself. Hey, I'm running on positive vibes over here. What are you doing? Hey, this is a caramel floppiato, and I hope you like it. You fucking fucko." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So he goes in there and he orders his what was it? It was a fucking
And all he wanted
It was a-
extra foam.
it was a caramel. It was a fucking
Caramel
Caramel
macchiato.
macchiato with extra foam.
extra foam is what he wanted.
Yes.
And the guy makes him his coffee, and he's like,
As he's making it extra foam.
"Yeah,
Just a reminder.
I got a cat named Canelo." Is
Okay.
that? Did you name that after the boxer, Connor, or is that a coffee thing also? I don't know. I don't know which way you're going with this. I hate douche nozzles. So do I, Connor.
Yes.
We have that in common. I would have dumped it on the counter. Okay, well that's one way to go.
Yeah.
That's one way to go. If you want to go that way, parole officer.
Yeah.
So I don't get that work, dude. I get my coffee from a gas station, and it's for free because the old lady behind the counter loves me.
So do I.
so I don't
That's
care.
why I love it.
Yeah, the Winter's Crossing. I go in there, I fill up my whole fucking thermos. She gives me a wave. I wave at her, and then I go on my way. I don't fucking care about a foam. What am I gonna do with foam?
Yeah.
Fucking foam.
I don't want milk anyway.
Yeah. Put milk in it? No, I get those little creamer cups and I put about 25 of them in there.
I
And
know,
I'm good
right?
to go. She doesn't care about that either. Anyway, he's all pissed off because there's not enough foam. So he's like, "Hey, man, that's not what I ordered." He's like, "Yeah, it is actually $4.25, please."
Fuck
And he's like,
you.
"No, that's not what I ordered. I asked for extra foam." He's like, "I make the best coffee in town, bro. So that's extra foam." He's like, "Just put a little more foam on there." So finally, he takes the coffee, he puts a little more foam on there, and he's like,
I don't even think he did that much.
There
foam to
was
it.
no foam.
"Who
Yeah.
gives a fuck about the fucking foam?"
I would have thrown it in his face. I'm angry at this point.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
it was pretty stupid.
I'm angry because I don't like coffee shop douche nozzles, but at the same time, this is what you're paying for. You're paying
No.
for a fuck face behind the counter.
Starbucks would not have treated you. this
Starbucks
way.
would not have treated you
No.
this way, but you would have to buy an indie rock CD while you're there. It's
Or
it-
download it.
it's true. I mean, they don't let you out of there unless you buy an indie rock CD. I got what do I got? A Fiona Apple all of a sudden. I don't know where that even came from. I went in there for a frosted macchiato. I come out with a Fiona Apple CD.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't even know how that happened. Anyway, he's like,
They suckered you.
I know, right?
We gotta teach
No.
you about Starbucks.
You probably thought that was a flavor in the coffee, huh? Would you like some Fiona Apple? Sure, yeah, whatever.
put it in my bag when I left, and then I got home and I looked at my debit card receipt. It was like $25.
Oh my god.
I got a Fiona Apple CD. How the fuck did that happen? All right, regardless.
They were like, this is one white motherfucker we're getting.
All right.
This guy right here, they're like, he loves Fiona Apple. Put that in there.
Don't
So
forget to charge them.
anyway, he's like, I don't want, just give me my $4.25 back. And he's like, no, I'm not giving you $4.25 back. He's like, well, I don't want this fucking coffee. He's like, well, too bad, bro. I make the best coffee in town, so give me. Then he's like, it's a very passive aggressive argument. Finally, Billy leaves, and he's like, you're not gonna give me my $4.25 back. He's like, no, I'm not. And then he throws like a fucking one of those crispy rolls at him as he leaves.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, you piece of shit.
Yeah, he's all have a
Biscotti
fucking
thing.
roll
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Fuck
So
you.
Billy leaves. He's all pissed off, and from there, here's a little fun fact about this movie. There was no script. There was no
Good.
script at all. The whole thing was
Oh my
improvised.
That's
Which
pretty good then.
This would have been so good for me.
I like that, but there's some complications that come with that. We're gonna get to that in 1 second. So from there, Billy gets a hold of his buddy Evan. Now Evan's a bit of a turd.
Evan looks like a young Brad Pitt.
Now, did you recognize Evan?
No.
You've seen him in another movie.
What movie?
He was in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Texas Chainsaw 3D. He played the young
Oh.
deputy.
Really?
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. He was a fucking
I wouldn't have
loser
guessed
in that movie too.
He was a loser in this movie, and he's got a YouTube channel, and he's going on and on about overpopulation and how we're going to fix this and all this crap. So he meets Evan at a fast food establishment, and
A
Evan's
knockoff of KFC.
whatever it
Chicken
is.
something.
Who gives a fucking shit?
Or like Better Call Saul.
I don't know. I don't watch that. I haven't seen that show. I'm sure it's great.
Okay. it
Ooh,
is great.
turds. Yeah, turds. There's a lot of turds in this movie, Connor. Now, Evan's one of these fuck faces that likes to proselytize and hang out with people that agree with him exclusively, which is kind of a shitty way to go about your day. But he hooks up with Billy in the parking lot of his KFC or whatever it is. Now, the thing is that Billy's been having a lot of packages shipped to Evan's dad's house. And Evan hasn't been asking questions. He's just been receiving the packages and giving them to Billy. So that's what we get, a little parking lot exchange here, a lot of boxes and things like that.
Now we know where his money's going.
Well, yeah. Now we go inside and we have an exchange inside the fast food place. Now, here's the thing about these two fuckheads.
This would be me shipping stuff over to Darius.
Right? You don't know what's going on. Don't open them, but I'm
like,
going to be sending you
Why are
packages.
you ordering? But your packages are here.
I'm pretty sure that's a real sex doll. It,
That's what he'd be thinking.
it moaned when my kids
Is that a
kicked
man's
it.
sex doll?
I think there's a boner in there
Yeah.
somewhere.
And this next one's a cave.
Yeah, so strange. It's kind of weird. But they go inside and they order some fast food, which it is fast food.
Mhm.
And then the hot chick, well, semi-hot chick behind the counter is like aloof, and she doesn't really care what they order, and she just gets them their food, and then they go and sit down. And then they have this back and forth conversation. Now, here's where you're going to realize that this movie is not, in fact, scripted, because they just keep talking over each other, and you can't really tell what the fuck either one of them is saying, except that each one thinks that they're smarter than the other, so they just keep shouting each other down. Which, to be fair, is something that I do to my friends all the fucking time.
Yeah, he does that to us all the time.
Only on the topic of horror films, because they're wrong all the fucking time, and I have to stop.
I'm not wrong. I'm the second best to him.
She is. She's my right hand. On my right hand side, honestly. So that's okay. Now, that being said, and it's not to be understated that the hot chick behind the counter isn't doing her job. But you got to remember,
She's kind of rude.
no,
Well, they're kind of hitting on her.
they are, and they're being fucking
And
fuckfaces.
she's like, whatever.
She's like, hey, baby. Hey, let me get a fucking, what do you, they go up there like typical douchebags. They're like, what the fuck? You got a fucking chicken and you got to give me a fucking number 3 with fucking French fries and some fucking tea.
Well, that's when you kick in your personality and sell something extra.
No, you don't. You're 17 years
my
old.
God. Well, yeah.
You work at a
17,
KFC.
you don't
She's not a
know.
bartender.
Yeah,
No.
17, you don't
No.
know. You just think
You
big.
are a douche canoe.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. I'm just saying that, I mean, come on, Connor, you know what I'm talking about. You work in the industry. These fucking turds come up to you all the time, and they talk to you like you're their little sister or something, right? Give me a fucking number 2, and no, wait, I want a number fucking 5, and make it fucking super fucking sized, okay? No, hey, that doesn't look like it's fucking super sized, bro. Eat my fucking ass, all right? You and your friend are going to eat here for probably all of about $10.
Hi, Aaron.
I'm not going to kiss your ass while you're standing in line here at the KFC. Here's your fucking food. Now get the fuck out of here. Or sit down and eat. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Anyway, is this a rock version of Rampage? Yeah, pretty much, Aaron.
Yeah.
Pretty much. We're ad-libbing a lot of this. And then once they finally get their food, they sit down and again.
No, it's not actually the Rock Rampage.
No, it's the other Rampage. I like to think of it as a rock and roll Rampage.
Yeah.
But they start, and again with this, oh, you know what's wrong with society, bro? Oh, there's too many fucking people and fucking resources. You're part of the problem, bro. You're part of the problem. No, I'm part of the problem. I think you're part of the fucking problem, bro. No, we're both part of the problem. These guys are asshats, is what it boils down to. Neither one of them has a fucking brain cell to rub together. Regardless, at some point, unscripted podcasts.
Yes, we are.
Yes, no, there's no script involved here. None whatsoever.
Wow.
I should probably look into that, but it would probably be very boring.
Yeah.
Darian, you look very handsome this evening. Yes, he does, doesn't he, Monica? Why, thank you.
Yeah, you
Like
might.
this movie. Why are you talking shit?
I hate rude ass customers that act like douche canoes. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about, Connor. That being said, eventually, while they're having this lunch and they're shouting over each other about their nonsensical political beliefs, the young lady that works behind the counter comes up, knocks over one of their cokes.
This is what I couldn't understand.
What couldn't you understand?
Why is she fucking wiping their table down while they're eating?
I don't know, but it's probably her asshat middle manager told her to do it. Or maybe she just went over there on accident.
Do not go over to the table while people are eating and engaged in conversation and not even say anything and start moving their shit.
Regardless, I mean, I get it. That's weird. That is weird.
Yeah,
But
it was in the script.
and then and then they fucking lose their shit. Oh no! Oh, what are you doing? You fucking knocked your fucking shit over. You fucking bro. Oh, right here. Give us some free shit. And she's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry."
Replace that all.
You better go get some napkins.
She did. She's like, "I'm gonna get you some. I'm not gonna give you your money back, but I'm gonna get you some new. I'm gonna get you some new food, and then you're gonna get some new food.
Some
I'm
new
replacing
chicken,
it."
some new fries.
So what's the problem?
The creatures didn't look right in this movie.
You're thinking of the other Rampage, Aaron. We're talking about the mass shooter Rampage.
2009.
You're right though. They were weird.
Yeah, definitely a little off.
Hey, you're exactly right. So now again, they go off on their little horse shit. You guys aren't social distancing. No, we're not, James. We have no intention of social distancing.
We're looking ass over here. What are you talking
We are.
about?
We are.
James?
That's going to be on the Patreon page later. If you want to see the bukkake that goes down, that's in the $5 tier. So there's
That's
that.
in the $10.
Oh, did we move it up to 10? We're going to put that in the $10 tier.
Ass.
It's not going to be mine. You don't want to be anywhere near my back door. It just got weird.
Darian can't reach when he shaves over there.
I have some of those long scissors, and I come around the bottom side. All right, anyway. So these guys are fuckheads. We get that. Now we're going to cut to the next day. Now, before that, though, we get like a weird montage scene of Billy like making weird armor in his bedroom late at night. His parents are all fired off. Wake up the next morning, have breakfast with the parents again. This time he's like, "Hey guys, I got the day off of work. I'm going to fill out some college applications. It's going to be great." And you know what? I feel electrical engineering, I think.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about this. I feel like I'm going to do something with my life. They're like, "Oh, that's so great, Billy. Yeah, let's do that."
We're going to meet here at 6 o'clock.
6
We're gonna
o'clock?
order pizza.
Yeah.
And we're going to discuss this.
Some supportive parents.
Yeah.
Some wonder. I wish these
sounds
guys.
like a great plan.
I wish these guys were my parents.
Yeah, the mom was
Your
very
mom was
cool.
great. You got max headroom for a dad. What else do you need? You're looking good. So that's what happens. As soon as they leave, though, he kicks it into high gear. Now he runs upstairs and puts on this bizarro samurai suit, and it is this fucking thing that he's been building all night. It's basically armor plating from head to toe.
Oh yeah.
Complete with a fucking samurai mask, helmet, Kevlar everywhere. He's one of the Los Angeles bank robbers from 1995 that were also Hungarian, by the way. And that's basically what's going down. So now he drives downtown in his full body getup. He's also got 2 Mac 11s, fully loaded, 9mm. He's got fucking magazines all over. He's probably got 3,000 or 4,000 rounds of magazines on him, fully loaded.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna guesstimate
That had to be heavy.
at least 400 pounds, just walking around. You know what I'm saying? And that's with a fully loaded LBV, load-bearing vest, with the magazines, plus the Mac 11s, plus all that Kevlar. Inside that suit, it's got to be pushing at least 100. I was going to say 125 degrees, but he may be closer to the truth. But I'm not a stickler for the details here.
Where can you watch this?
Got it on Tubi TV.
Tubi TV.
You can watch it for free on Tubi.
Hey, Ryan's in the house. What's up, Ryan?
And they don't cut nothing out.
No, you get to see all the shit.
Yeah.
So from there, he goes downtown. Now, this is where we're going to find out what was going on with that stupid van he was working on there at the garage. He's got this fucking thing wired up with a remote control, fully wired with explosives.
How dope is that?
All the way in and out. So he wires it up. He like turns it on, remote start ignition, runs it right into the police precinct, and blows it the fuck up.
Yeah.
Boom. So that's all right. There goes your cops. Now, mind you, we are in some weird small town in the Pacific Northwest.
Was it Oregon?
I
thought
think
the
so.
plate said Oregon.
It could be Oregon or
Fuck you, Oregon.
whoa there. The thoughts and opinions of Miss Monica do not reflect those of the Padded Room podcast. We like Oregon, as a matter of fact.
The parole officer works in Oregon.
Yes.
Whatever.
So I'm sure he's enjoying
A
himself.
random town.
A random town in Oregon, which may be the same town that got blown up in this movie. So that's pretty gnarly. Blows up the whole police precinct. Boom! Cops, everything flying out the door. Whoa! What the fuck? I always miss the beginning. What movie are we talking about? Rampage, 2009. Liz from Uwe Boll.
Yes.
Blows up the police precinct with his remote control explosive van. From there, he drives to the downtown shopping district, gets out of the car, and just gets out and just starts shooting people at random, just mowing them down. Goes into a catering office, shoots the shit out of that place, goes into a couple other stores, blows them all up. Random passersby, people hiding. At one point, I thought this was a nice touch. The one chick like ducks around a corner, and he rolls up on her, and he's like, click, click, click. And he's like, "Ooh, shit! This is pretty scary shit, huh?" And then he pops a new clip, and he's like, "Okay, here we go." And then he blows her away.
That was pretty cool.
Somebody come get her. She's dancing like a stripper. Who are we referring to there, Connor?
Oh, okay.
How are you guys spending your Corvid stimulus checks?
I haven't gotten one.
I haven't gotten one yet.
But
when
if we do, we're buying alcohol.
Probably. That's probably right. And hand sanitizer. I think that's a good idea. And condoms. Lots of condoms. We need condoms.
Yeah, because I use this hand for Pornhub.
And me. She uses that hand on me too.
And Sandy Huts.
And Sandy Huts. Oh, awesome. I've yet to see it, which is totally weird because I had a poster of The Rock on my bedroom wall growing up. We're not talking about that Rampage, Liz. We're talking about the other one with the mass shooter.
The older one.
Watch the older with the Uwe Boll one.
The one who looks nothing like The Rock.
No giant monsters in this one, baby. No. So he's just mowing down people on the main shopping thing with his Mac 11s. Goes into the coffee shop, and the douche nozzle is still there, and he's like, "Hey." Now he's got his whole samurai get up with the Mac 11s. He's like, "Hey, I want a fucking caramel macchiato, extra foam, and I want you to make it like your goddamn life depended on it." So the guy's like,
"Okay.
Yeah, bro, totally." And then he makes it, and then he hands it to him, and he's like, "This isn't extra foam, you piece of shit!" And he throws it at him, and the guy's like, "You better fucking run right out of here right now." So the dude takes off, and he's like, "I said run!" And then he walks out casually and mows that clown down also.
Fuck yeah.
Now, I'm not one to root for mass shooters.
Except for this part.
They are pieces of shit, except for this dude who I feel had it coming.
Yes.
Nobody likes the coffee shop douche nozzle. And I don't just mean that in the context of a character archetype in a movie. I mean that in real life. And it's not to say
that scene could have gone longer, though.
It's not to say that everybody that works in a coffee shop is a douche nozzle, but I think every coffee shop has a douche nozzle that works there that thinks he's like some kind of a coffee shop god.
Yeah.
And this guy was him, and he got mowed down, and I'm okay with that.
Fucking hippie.
Fuck the coffee shop bitch. Exactly right. Exactly right, parole officer.
You didn't give me my extra foam.
Dude. Okay, either come up with the extra foam, make me a new coffee, or give me my fucking money back. What did I ask for?
I would have let it live, but I would have shot his hands off.
I would have shot that Gucci haircut right off his goddamn head. Fuck that guy. You know that guy's just slaying ass in that coffee shop.
Oh yeah,
he's pulling ass like there's no tomorrow. Okay, anyway, so the massacre continues. He keeps mowing people down on the street. About this time, he starts to get a little parched. So he rolls into a hair salon. Bunch of hot chicks in there. They're doing each other's hair. It's wonderful. He's like, "Oh, God, They've now been listening to the news. They know what's going on. They know who he is. And he's like, fuck, I just need to sit down for 2 seconds because I've had a long, I don't know, hour and a half of killing people. And it goes without saying that he's like running in this goddamn suit. At one point, the cops corner him and shoot at him, and he just kind of like
No naked
turtles up.
business.
No naked ladies. Catherine Isabel, though, in this scene. She's in it for about 4 minutes before she gets killed. But she is in the movie, and she's there, and she's like, you know, they're doing these shoot out their hair, and they're like, oh, what do you need? And he's like, you know, I'm fine, really, ladies. I just need some water. I can't breathe in this fucking suit. And they're like, okay. He gets them all into one corner of the room, and he's like, okay. He goes to the water cooler, gets himself a cup of water, and he's like, okay, here I go. He puts his mask back on, goes rolling back out into the road. And they're like, oh. As soon as he leaves, though, they're like, you know what? Fuck you fucking dirtbag. And then he comes back in and mows them all down.
Fuck you, bitch.
And he's like, I probably shouldn't have taken my fucking mask off in front of these hoes. So he shoots the shit out of them also.
Mask. You know they're dead.
More like D-bags that are crabby rude. Yeah, that's a fair assessment there,
Well,
David.
that bitch deserved it. You don't say shit like that with a gunman.
You do after he leaves.
Yeah.
No, after he leaves forever.
Well,
now
after
that he's right out the front
thought he
door,
was gone, yeah.
Fuck her.
So you're the smart chick and get into like the very back middle of it,
Yeah.
and just let everybody take the
And fall
windshield
down
and
and
then you
die.
Pull him down over you. You're like,
Yeah.
there's nobody alive in here, so just keep moving.
That's right.
We're all dead. Keep on moving on there.
We're all dead.
Just keep on going down the road there. So he gets done with his fucking massacre of the beauty shop, and now he goes back to his car, which is still parked in the same place. Goes hauling ass out of there. Goes to the bank. Now, something that I glazed over at the beginning of this movie, we see him printing out a bunch of photocopies of $100 bills. These fucking photocopies aren't going to fool anybody, but goes to the bank, runs inside, so, you know, with his fucking Mac 11s. He's like, come on, you motherfuckers, it's a bank robbery. And they all have been listening to the news. So like, oh shit, this guy's crazy. A couple of these clowns try to rush him, which it doesn't end well for them. But thank God somebody tried to do something, because so far, everybody has just been quite content in getting shot the fucking piss out of.
Right.
So they try to rush him. He stabs one of them, shoots a bunch of other guys, and eventually goes into bank robber mode. Grabs the manager, walks him back to the safe, makes him open the safe, fill a duffel bag full of cash, walks out of there. While he's out there by his car, and we get to see this, nobody else does, he switches the bags. So he's got his photocopies of $100 bills in the back of his car, takes the real money, throws it in the back, grabs the fake money, throws it in the garbage can, and then lights it on fire. And he's like, your fucking money doesn't mean anything, bro. Just fucking bullshit. And then he lights the fake money on fire. And then he goes taking off. So that's kind of, well, now we're getting down to what old Billy is really about here, aren't we? So he goes taking off. As he's driving out of town, he starts listening to the police radio, the two-way radio. And we have the county sheriff is on his way. And he's going to come sort this whole thing out.
Yeah.
So we cut to the
half hour out.
Yeah. Half hour out. We cut to the county sheriff, played by Michael Pare. He's like, I'm going to handle this shit. Come on, boys, we're going to take this guy down. So Billy's listening to this on the radio. He rolls up to the welcome to Tenderville. The name of the town is Tenderville, by the way. Welcome to the Tenderville sign.
Is that anything like Tinderville?
That's where all the internet dating goes on. I believe so.
Yeah.
Tinder. You swipe left if you don't like them, I think. And I don't know how this works. Rolls up to the welcome to the Tenderville sign and puts a bunch of plastic explosives and barrels of explosive shit over there. And then he just pulls over and waits. And he's got the clacker on him. So he's just hanging there by the sign. Here comes the sheriffs. There's actually 2 cars full of sheriffs. The first car rolls up. Kaboom! Blows the fuck out of the first car. Goes cartwheeling down the road. Right behind him is Michael Pare and Sheriff, whatever his name was. And he's like, God damn it. Did you see that? There's our shooter right there. So they go peeling after him. Mind you, Billy is like in a Cutlass Supreme or something like that. And they're in a cop car. Now, this part is particularly stupid. And I'm not one to stickle for details, though. But Michael Pare is in the passenger seat. He's telling his co-deputy who's driving, he's like, take him down, bump him. So, okay. Now, the cars are like, okay, here's the sheriff's car, and here's Billy's car. So they're like, boom, and then boom, and then boom, and then the sheriff's car just goes, boom, woo! And Billy goes taking off.
Must have been a rookie driver.
What the fuck was that guy not there for driving day at the police academy? Because he didn't know what the fuck was going on.
He bumped himself out.
Yeah, he like boom off onto the side of the road. It's like, what happened? I don't know. I bumped him, and then I just decided to pull over, I guess.
Yeah.
So that part was kind of silly. I heard one that was so nasty towards me once. I found out that they took 1 gallon of white paint, dumped it all over the hood of their car after the second time of being insulted. I don't know what's going on with you, Damon, but that sounds savage.
Wow.
A whole gallon of white paint. So that's a road. That's I'm susceptible to road rage myself. I'll flip you the bird, and if you want to pull over, I'll fight you. But going to Home Depot and getting white paint and then coming back to pour it all over somebody's car, that's like a whole other level. Because I'm not going to burn that kind of calories on somebody that flipped me off.
Well, we used to follow people and see where they lived.
I did that one time.
And then we came back to your house a few days later.
I did that one time, and a guy was being a dick to everybody on the road. So I followed him to his apartment, and then I left, and I came back to my house, filled up a garbage can full of dog shit from my backyard, and then poured it in the back of his truck. So there you go.
Right.
Only one time somebody was like, yeah, come follow me to my house.
I'll do it.
We were like,
if you really want,
if you're challenging
I'll
us
fight
to
you.
follow you, we're not coming to your house. That means bad.
I will fight you. And I'll pull over. I've got the Irish temper, is what my mom used to say. Anyway, enough about that.
Yeah.
Blows off the car. Michael Pare and his half-assed sheriff's deputy are still following the dude. Now, at this point, we see Billy talk to his buddy Evan, the guy with the ass hat YouTube channel. He's like, apparently they were supposed to hook up for later, Nez. They were supposed to hook up for a game of paintball. So Evan is out in the woods playing paintball by himself like a fucking asshole. And Billy's like, hey bro, I'm on my way. I'm just running a little late. So he goes to the paintball area. Michael Pare follows him. Michael Pare gets out and he's like following Billy. Billy somehow does like a loop-de-loop on him and comes up behind him and stabs Michael Pare in like the guts. And he's like, you got about 60 to 80 seconds and you're going to bleed out, buddy. Sorry, you have a nice day now. And he takes off.
Bye-bye.
And then, as predicted, Michael Pare bleeds out. He's like, fuck.
Does Buddy have to poop?
Love you guys. You guys rock. Thank you, Nez. Thank you for hanging with us.
What's up? Do you have to poop?
You gotta poop? Is everybody okay? All right, we're getting there. We're almost done here. From there, he goes and hooks up with Evan, and he's got the big bag of money with him. He's like, Evan, I brought you a little present. Evan's like, dude, this is like a bunch of fucking money, man. What the fuck? He's like, yeah, it's a little thing. Hey, here's something else I got for you. Stun gun to the ribs. Evan's like, fuck, shit. Goes down like a sack of shit, and then Billy takes the gun, puts it in Evan's hand, gets his fingerprints all over it, kills Evan, shoots him in the head with the gun, and then takes the weird samurai armor off and puts it in on Evan's hand. Then goes walking out with a big bag of money and right back to his parents' house.
Yeah.
Cut to that night, his parents come home. They're like, oh my God, did you hear what happened? And Billy's like, it was Evan, man. He's got these weird YouTube videos. He doesn't know. He's fucking crazy. And they're like, I know. Oh my God, honey, I'm so glad you're safe. Just go get some rest. So he goes upstairs and he's like rubbing money all on his fucking belly. And he's like, I got the money.
Yeah.
Woo, money. But then he's watching the news and they're bringing Evan's dad out of the house. And Evan's dad is like, it was that kid Billy. He's a fucking freako, man. Fuck that guy. It's Billy. Billy, I know it's you. Billy. And Billy's like, oh shit, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here.
5
so
skulls on that scene.
He loads up all of the money in his weird looking tracksuit, and then he cuts out. And that's pretty much the end of your movie. We get a little prologue where Billy uploads a YouTube clip, and he's like smoking cigarettes. All of a sudden, he's like, you know what? There's too many fucking people, and I'm gonna kill them all. because
Yeah.
I don't know, they're eating up the resources or whatever. So fucking,
They gotta go.
I'm just gonna start killing people, and you're welcome, by the way, because I'm killing people. Apparently, this movie has been the inspiration for a lot of mass shooters, and that fucking sucks because mass shooting and people that do mass shootings are fucking assholes. But the good news is
What, you
COVID-19
don't think so?
No.
is COVID-19. If you're a mass shooter right now and you're looking to do a mass shooting, you are shit out of luck because nobody's leaving their house. There's no rock concerts to shoot up or
I guess I'll just sit here and wait.
there's going to be a garlic festival possibly mid-June. I might shoot that one up. Maybe a fucking downtown
I'm
carnival.
gonna be the drive-through massacre.
Yeah, I might shoot 3 people. We're not making light of mass shooting. That shit is stupid. And if you're a mass shooter, then fuck
If you're
you.
gonna shoot people, shoot it for a reason, a good reason.
Yeah, like picking fights with your dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. If they hurt your dog, fuck them. Shoot them.
there you go.
If they bullied you in high school, fuck them.
Well,
Literally.
come on now. Whatever happened in high school, I feel like you should get a free pass on.
Yeah.
Not that I was a bully of
Yeah.
any kind.
I was a bully. and
See, somebody should shoot you.
I would deserve it.
You
I
probably
totally
would.
understand.
I have to make dessert. It's keeping us sane and me fat during the quarantine. Have a wonderful night, guys. Thank you for joining us,
Bye,
Liz.
Liz.
Thanks,
Have a
Liz.
good night.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it for Rampage.
Mhm.
It's about as good as you're gonna get in the Uwe Bowl spectrum
Very
of things.
political movie, yes.
But for 2009, it wasn't that topical at the time. It's more
Stop
topical now.
dancing like a stripper.
Who's dancing like a stripper?
Connor, I haven't even started dancing like
I'm
a
just getting warmed up,
stripper. I
Connor.
gotta go.
Let me put a beat on behind this.
You know, we skipped over one of my favorite scenes of this. That was the
Which
old
one?
folks playing bingo.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know.
man.
Those people were oblivious. They were
Yeah,
just
that was
like,
great.
I-5.
I got a kick out of this scene.
Those were not actors, by the way.
Those
Those
were
were people
real.
playing bingo.
They didn't even know a movie was being
Fucking
shot
yeah.
there.
Oh,
Brendan Fletcher walks in and he's like, I-27. And they're all like, who the fuck is this guy?
yeah.
What is he even doing?
Great
And on his
show.
way out, it's
Barbecue
like,
next
they clearly
time.
don't need my
I'm in
help.
town.
Yes, sir.
That's
Mr.
right.
Parole Officer. My place or yours anytime you're ready. You already paid for the alcohol.
No, I'm having a Mountain Dew.
I don't know if you're aware of that.
I'm sober.
So that is Rampage from 2009. It's a pretty good show if you don't mind a movie about mass shooting, and it's a bit topical these days. It wasn't when it was
Mhm.
made. It's about as good as you're going to get in the Uwe Boll spectrum of things. I
And they
think.
made
Yeah.
2 more of these.
3 more.
3 more?
Th-
There's
well,
more of them, don't?
There's
Yes.
4 total. There was going to be a 5th one, but he couldn't get it kickstarted, so he just took to YouTube and started shouting ethnic slurs at people
Yeah.
because he's not a very good person.
Yeah, if you don't care about politics, check this movie out.
It's fine. It's a pretty good show,
Yeah.
actually, all
Yeah.
things considered. It's not based on a video game, and that's saying a lot for Uwe Boll.
Mhm.
What did we decide we're going to do next week?
What did you decide?
I say we do Alone in the Dark.
Oh God.
It's going to drive Monica
No, you had
crazy.
the one with those 2 actors that Monica would like.
Yeah, Alone in the
Oh
Dark.
yeah.
Starring
Tara Reid.
Tara Reid,
Christian Slater, and
Christian Slater, Tara Reid, and Stephen Dorff.
Stephen Dorff.
Stephen Dorff.
If you want to see, probably
Yeah.
Monica's not going to be here next week for this.
Oh, I'm gonna be here every
But
100%.
If she is, you're going to see flames come out of her head. She despises Tara Reid, hates Stephen Dorff for no reason, no good reason at all, other than the fact that he's short,
Yeah.
which is not fair to Stephen Dorff. He's a hell of an actor. I don't care how tall he is.
I actually liked Alone in the Dark, except for the ending. But we'll talk about that next.
I don't remember anything about it except that it was not good.
Tara
So,
Reid, rock on with
yes.
all that plastic surgery.
We are
girl.
going to take us a little break. We'll come back in a minute with some other stuff.
Thanks, guys.
I love this show. Ryan loves this show.
I love Ryan. Ryan,
Awesome, Ryan.
Thank
you
Ryan.
are badass, my friend. Thank you guys for joining us. Join us
Yeah.
next week for Alone in the Dark. Monica's head is going to explode, or she may physically assault me during the show because she hates everybody in the movie. And she's not my biggest fan to begin with, Monica. So good chance she's gonna just punch me right in
The
the neck.
parole officer loves Stephen Dorff from
Deuce is Wild. That's a great show.
Wow, that's great.
I love that. I've always wanted to fill a wheelbarrow full of bricks and dump it off the roof on somebody's car.
Mhm.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking A, man.
Absolutely.
I think that's one of the few movies that Fairuza Balk was somewhat bangable in. She was pretty hot now.
I promote violence in any movie.
I promote Fairuza Balk being bangable in any movie.
Oh,
All right.
So join us next week for Alone in the Dark. We will see you next week. Thank you again for joining us. PaddedRoomPodcast.com is where you find us. We have several subsidiary shows out of Australia, Canada, all over the goddamn world. Find them all there. Find anything you need to know about us there also. PaddedRoomPodcast.com. Next week, Alone in the Dark, Monica's going to punch me in the neck.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh my God.
Go. Please don't pee yourself. Not in this room.